Oh, we've come down for a few days at one of Warner's latest developments, which is Heythrop Park in the Cotswolds. This is actually the back of the old house. As ever with Warner Hotels, they have to develop the site much greater than the original. So this new south wing is built in sympathy with the original building design, and a really nice wildflower natural border alongside here. Well, I've yet to read up about its history, but here I'm stood on the old ha-ha wall, which protects the house from a muntjac deer that I've already seen in the grounds, along with a load of squirrels. On the other side, the front entrance to the building, close to a new wing that's currently being built. There's also a couple of smaller wings, all with bedroom accommodation. And in the main house there's a selection of 3 restaurants, various bars, an orangery, theatres, and all sorts. And in we go. And that leads on down into the orangery, which in turn leads on through into the brassy bar. It's in extensive grounds, contains a wall garden and several recreational areas which we're now exploring. This pathway leads us through to what is the old wall garden, which probably is in need of a bit of renovation work. We'll have a little explore. Yep, definitely seen happier days. Maybe in the future it will see better days. The extensive grounds, I don't know how many acres, also include a golf course. Certainly our drive in yesterday, the drive alone was about a mile before we reached the reception area. A little further on we came down a slight hill to this bridge crossing constructed in the 1750s, which is alongside the golf course still, and the River Blenheim here is divided into 2 lakes. Anybody at all yet on the golf course, but it looks very nice anyway. Well, a little further around along the river course, and we're just on another bridge here and a little mini waterfall to the next section of river. Well, just about 20 minutes away from Heythrop is the, well, you could call it world famous Blenheim Palace. So our entrance today is courtesy of the RHS, which gives us free access to the formal gardens, the wall garden, and quite an extensive array of walks. But this is the palace. It's also famously the birthplace of William Spencer Churchill.
Europe has been distorted and needed to be represented just minorities of the Protestants like King Louis XIV.
And then from that exhibition we step outside into the start of the very extensive Blenheim Palace Gardens. Geometry and the tiered water features here, not to mention the intricate and beautifully clipped box hedging, is really an amazing design. An impressive work of art and design spring to mind. I took a walk then alongside the Great Lake, First signs of autumn colours just appearing there on the far side also. And all around the lake there are some really impressive and magnificent trees, a lot of cedars. And the path in turn took us on to what is called the Grand Cascade and Pump House. And at the bottom of the cascades, an absolute paradise for mallard ducks. And even more downstream as well. And from the path, just down beneath the Great Lake now, just got a view back to the house as well. I'm not sure I've ever seen quite so many ducks congregated together on the embankment here. There must be a ready supply of food for them all. Well, there's no way I could do a count today. There's just hundreds, thousands of them all over the place. Then alongside the path on the way back up towards the house is a formerly laid out rose garden, although it is currently under restoration work as well. But Canya's growing here in this climate. This is the Rosa Silver Jubilee and the Rosa Peace. A short section of memorial garden here, and on the ground engraved into the stonework is the history of him throughout his time in Parliament, from early Home Secretary to Prime Minister, to the war years, to his resignation, and finally to his demise in 1965 when he died. Our walk brought us back via the palace in full sunshine. Well, the topiary here overlooks the Italian garden, which is like a large mosaic of box hedging with an impressive central water feature. Which leads up to the flag against a broody looking cloud. Well, we can't get any closer to view this. This is a rather odd feature. Again, all of the statues, I mean, they're beautifully done. And close to the house and restored in 2004 is an area called the Secret Garden. With a whole load of intertwining pathways around planted borders and mature species. Lots of colour in the spring and summer, and autumnal hues coming in now. As we walk through, you can just hear the soft sound of trickling water.
Quite mild here.
Alongside the wall garden, some beautifully laid out dahlia beds, full of colour, along with some charred envy. Looking really good. I've got beetroot, I've got carrot, I've got all sorts of goodies growing here, and some more dahlia. What would you do without dahlia this time of year? Oh, this is the Rouse honey bench, beautifully carved. And then we discovered the butterfly house. This is just to prove they're real. Well, in order to get back, we decided to take the train. It was just £1 each for a little ride on the Blenheim train. Well, that kind of concludes our visit here to Blenheim Palace today. It's an extensive grounds, really beautiful setting. Nice lakes and the village of Woodstock close by. The next day we came close to Stow on the Wold and to a National Trust place called Chastleton House, which is a quirky sort of place, being preserved as it was found, not as it once was. It's a huge and quirky house, very much in its original design and style. Pretty haphazard indoors, lots of artifacts and things, and it's just left in the state it was in. And in the garden, quite a bit of topiary as well as a lot of vegetables, and a local church as well. Well, en route to Portsmouth, we came via Oxford, also known as the City of Spires. One or two of them here. It's a busy sort of city on this bright Friday morning, full of bicycles, pedestrianised areas, and buses going through the pedestrianised areas. Very central in Oxford is Balliol College. You pay to get in and have a quick look around these days. Indeed, even a walking 1.5 hour guided city tour is £25. But peering through railings, I can get some sneaky looks into some of the college gardens and areas. This is right by the Sheldonian Theatre.
They weren't allowed, as you said, to use the main libraries, so past the buildings, we weren't allowed to access that library.
Originally designed by Sir Christopher Wren. Normally you can get in, but there's a Masters event on today, so that's not possible. The courtyard takes us into the area known as the Divinity School. It's an area where most of the libraries are located. Lovely architecture. Well, lovely internal bridge, glazed, little arch linking buildings, probably quite famous, but it's unknown to us. And lots of little appealing passages to investigate. So now I now know this is the Bridge of Sighs, as in S-I-G-H-S. Well, it's a tiny wee place, and it's had a lot of very famous people who've frequented it and leant against the bar.